Chapter 1. The Forest as a Natural Pharmacy. In the heart of South America lies a vast and mysterious world, the Amazon rainforest. Home to millions of species, it is more than just the planet's green lungs. It is a living pharmacy. What if, hidden among the trees and vines, there was a cure for one of humanity's greatest fears? Cancer? Cancer affects almost every family in the world. Despite decades of research, the fight continues. Modern medicine saves lives, but treatments are expensive, painful, and not always effective. That's why more and more researchers are turning to nature for answers, especially to the Amazon, one of the richest ecosystems on Earth. Chapter 2. Wisdom of the Forest Peoples. The Amazon is more than a forest. It is a treasure trove of medicinal plants. For centuries, indigenous communities have used its resources to treat illness, pain, and inflammation. Some of their remedies have already made their way into modern medicine. But what about the others? What secrets are still waiting to be discovered? In the indigenous tradition, healing is not just about treating the body. It is also about caring for the spirit, maintaining balance, and respecting the earth. Shamans, traditional healers, carry generations of wisdom. They know which root to boil, which leaf to crush, and which bark to burn. It's not just the plant. It's knowing when and how to use it that makes the difference. Indigenous Elder. In this documentary, we explore 5 powerful Amazonian plants. We talk to scientists and shamans. We visit villages, forests, and laboratories. And we ask, does nature already hold the answer to curing cancer? This is not just a journey through the forest. It is a journey of hope. Part 2. Medicinal plants of the Amazon. Cat's Claw, the immunity plant. Cat's Claw is a vine found deep in the Amazon. Its curved spines gave it its name. Traditionally used to treat inflammation, arthritis, and digestive problems, it is now being studied for its immunostimulating effect and possible anti-cancer action. It contains compounds that help combat oxidative stress, one of the factors in the development of cancer. Initial studies show that it may even slow the growth of tumors. But there is still much to discover. Pau d'Arco, the strength in the purple bark. The purple flowers of Pau d'Arco hide a powerful secret. For generations, its bark has been used to fight infections and even tumors. Modern science has identified lapicol, a compound with strong antioxidant properties. In the laboratory, extracts from this tree have demonstrated the ability to kill cancer cells, especially in leukemia. But the challenge is to transform this power into a safe and effective treatment. 6. Copaiba oil, the anti-inflammatory of the forest. Extracted directly from the trunk of the tree, copaiba oil is known as the natural anti-inflammatory of the Amazon. Used for skin infections, pain, and digestive problems, it also shows potential in fighting cancer in early research. But not all copaiba oil is the same. The quality varies greatly, and many products are adulterated. Even so, its natural power continues to attract scientists from all over the world. 7. Acai, the superfood of the jungle. Much more than just a smoothie fad, acai is, in the Amazon, a daily source of strength. Rich in antioxidants, it helps protect the body from cellular damage. Some studies suggest that acai pulp can support the immune system and reduce the growth of cancer cells. It is not a cure, but it is a powerful ally in the fight for health. 8. Lesser-known plants, huge potential. In addition to the best-known, there are dozens of other plants used in traditional healing. Jatoba, with its antimicrobial bark. Andiroba, whose oil relieves pain. Jambu, famous for its anesthetic effect. Paraparoba, studied for its anti-tumor potential. Each plant is a chapter in nature's pharmacy, and science is only beginning to read that book. What is ancestral knowledge today, tomorrow could be life-saving medicine. But only if we choose to listen, study, and protect the forest that holds these secrets. Chapter 10. When Science Listens to Nature. Modern medicine is increasingly beginning to listen to what the people of the forest have to say. What was once called popular superstition is now being investigated in universities and laboratories around the world. The question is, what do these plants do to the human body? And more importantly, how can they be used safely and effectively? Researchers from Latin America, Europe, and the United States are isolating compounds found in Amazonian plants. They are trying to understand how they act on cancer cells, inflammation, and even the immune system. Cat's claw, for example, has shown promising results in stimulating defense cells. Pau d'Arco has shown potential in inducing apoptosis, the programmed death of diseased cells. Chapter 11. Promising but early studies. It is important to say, we are still in the early stages. Most studies with Amazonian plants have been done in the laboratory, on cells or animals. Few have reached the stage of clinical trials with humans. This is because the path between the discovery of a compound and the creation of a medicine is long, expensive, and rigorous. Even so, the results are encouraging. In vitro studies, copaiba and acai extracts have demonstrated antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and cytotoxic effects. That is, they are capable of killing tumor cells. But do these effects also occur inside the human body? That is what science wants to find out. Chapter 12. Between tradition and innovation. The challenge is to unite two wisdoms, that of the forest and that of the laboratory. To this end, many universities have begun to work in partnership with indigenous communities. They are the ones who know the cycle of plants, the right times to harvest, and the precautions that need to be taken. This collaboration is essential not only to discover new medicines, but also to protect traditional knowledge against dishonest exploitation. Unfortunately, there are cases of biopiracy when international companies extract plants and patent their compounds without recognizing or compensating the people who hold the original knowledge. Chapter 13. Real cases, cautious hope. Some people facing cancer have turned to natural remedies as a complement to conventional treatment. There are reports of patients who felt improved well-being, fewer side effects, or even control of the disease when using natural extracts, always with medical advice. It is essential to remember, natural medicine does not replace traditional medicine, but it can be an ally, especially in strengthening immunity and reducing inflammation. Chapter 14. Is the future of medicine green? In the coming years, more research is expected to advance in the analysis of plants such as Paraparoba, Jatoba, and Copaiba itself. With the advancement of biotechnology, it will be possible to isolate the most promising compounds and test them on a large scale. But this will only be possible if the forest remains standing. The destruction of the Amazon is also the destruction of a living library that we have not even begun to read. Each tree cut down could be a lost opportunity to treat, cure, or alleviate human diseases. Chapter 15. Closing Part 3. Science and Consciousness. Science is made of questions. And one of the most important ones we are asking today is, what if the answer lies in the roots? What was once seen as simple tradition is now the subject of study in universities. But to transform knowledge into a cure, we need respect, ethics, and preservation. Because the cure of the future may indeed be rooted in the past. Chapter 16. Stories from the Forest and the City. In many corners of Brazil, especially in the Amazon region, the use of medicinal plants is part of everyday life. For many families, tea made from the bark of a tree or oil extracted from a seed are the first, and often the only, treatments available. But this knowledge also resonates outside the forest. People with access to conventional medicine have sought natural therapies as a way to complement cancer treatment, strengthen their bodies, or alleviate the side effects of chemotherapy. Chapter 17. Dona Maria and Pau d'Arco tea. Dona Maria, 68, lives in Belém do Pará. 3 years ago, she was diagnosed with stomach cancer. She followed the recommended medical treatment, but also started drinking Pau d'Arco tea, recommended by a neighbor who knew the traditional uses of the plant. I don't know if it was the tea or my willpower, but I got better. The doctor said my body responded well. And I continue to drink it with faith and care. Dona Maria knows that the tea is not a miracle cure, but she believes that it helped to strengthen her immune system and her hope. Chapter 18. Shamans and the Medicine of the Spirit. For indigenous peoples, treating an illness is not limited to the body. Healing also involves finding a balance with nature, the community, and the spiritual world. Healing rituals involve prayers, songs, and the use of plants that have physical and symbolic properties. The plant knows. The forest listens. "We do not heal alone," says a shaman from the Hunni-Keen people. He uses cat's claw and jatoba in ceremonies to cleanse energy and strengthen health. These rituals are not opposed to science. They offer another way of understanding health and the human being. Chapter 19. Doctors who integrate nature. There are health professionals who have been integrating natural therapies with rigorous medical monitoring. Oncologists and nutritionists study the effects of natural compounds, such as the antioxidants in acai or the essential oils in copaiba, in supporting the body during aggressive treatments. A well-nourished and emotionally stable patient responds better to conventional treatment. If nature can help, we should embrace it responsibly, says an oncologist from Manaus. Chapter 20. Hope with feet on the ground. Although there are many positive reports, it is essential to treat the subject responsibly. Not every plant is suitable for everyone. Not every organism reacts in the same way. And there are risks of poisoning, drug interactions, or false expectations. Therefore, any use of medicinal plants, especially during serious treatments such as cancer, should be done with medical supervision and by trained professionals. Faith in nature should walk alongside science and never against it. Chapter 21. Closing of Part 4. The Voice of Those Who Live. The stories we hear in this part are not scientific evidence. They are human testimonies. They show us that, beyond chemistry and data, there is also emotion, culture, and wisdom in the use of Amazonian plants. Each report is a reminder that healing is not only found in laboratories, but also in encounters, in sharing knowledge, in listening, and in humility in the face of life's complexity. Chapter 22. The Forest Under Threat. The Amazon rainforest is not just a natural sanctuary, it is a silent battlefield. Every minute, trees are cut down, rivers polluted, species threatened. Deforestation, illegal mining, and agricultural expansion put at risk not only the environmental balance, but also the future of natural medicine. Every lost plant can be a medical opportunity destroyed, a healing formula that will never be discovered, knowledge that will disappear with the ashes of a bonfire. Chapter 23. The Value of the Living Forest. Protecting the Amazon is much more than saving trees. It is preserving ancestral cultures, stories, and knowledge. When an indigenous community loses its land, it also loses the knowledge passed down from generation to generation. Conserving the forest is, therefore, an act of environmental justice, of respect for native peoples, and of defending life in all its forms. What science seeks under microscopes, our elders already know through the wisdom of time. Indigenous leader of the Upper Rio Negro. Chapter 24. Sustainable Use Projects. Despite the challenges, there is hope. In several regions of the Amazon, projects for the sustainable cultivation of medicinal plants are emerging. Family farmers and indigenous communities cultivate copaiba, andiroba, acai, and other species, respecting natural cycles and without destroying the ecosystem. These projects generate income, preserve the forest, and value traditional knowledge. Science can help with technology and certification, while communities keep their ancestral relationship with nature alive. Chapter 25. The Role of the Consumer. Often, the choice is in our hands. When buying natural products, herbal medicines, or supplements, we can choose ethical brands from sustainable sources and that respect the communities involved. Getting informed, reading labels, supporting local projects, all of this helps to preserve the forest. The conscious consumer is also a guardian of biodiversity. Chapter 26. Closing Part 5. Protecting to Heal. If we want the Amazon to continue to offer its medicinal secrets, we must ensure that it survives. The healing of the future will only be possible with responsibility in the present. Because a living forest is not just beauty, it is potential science, preserved health, and rooted hope. Chapter 27. What we learned. Throughout this journey, we explored the secrets hidden in the forest, listened to the ancestral knowledge of indigenous peoples, discovered the promises of modern science, and the testimonies of those who believe that nature can heal. We learned that there is power in the roots, in the fruits, in the leaves, but there is also power in listening, in humility, and in the collaboration between traditions and technologies. Natural medicine is not magic or miracle. It is a vast, promising field that needs to be treated with respect. Chapter 28: The Path of Research. Science is still in the early stages of this discovery. In order for Amazonian medicinal plants to be used safely and effectively, more investment, more clinical studies, and more cooperation between scientists, doctors, and guardians of the forest are needed. We need public policies that encourage research, protect traditional knowledge, and ensure that the benefits also reach the communities that have preserved this knowledge for centuries. Thank you very much for following us this far. Don't forget to like and follow us so you don't miss the next video. See you later.